Okay, let's unpack this. We have tackled everything from high-frequency trading to the physics of black holes on the deep dive, but today we are embarking on a journey into territory that is truly infernal.
It really is. Our source material is a tactical playbook for a very, very strange mission. It's an excerpt from the Interdimensional Lightweight Camping Guide by Tittles the Temple Cat, Senior Interplanar Scout.
It sounds like a joke, doesn't it?
Right, it does. But it's anything but. This is a manual written because of a real crisis. Young women are vanishing, and the gates to somewhere, well, decidedly unpleasant have opened.
And our crew is a stoic monk, a burdened priest, and the hyper-disciplined Tittles the cat, all trekking into the abyss.
That's the setup. And Tittle's core advice is extreme. Forget survival. This is ultralight survival.
Right. So our mission for you today is a depth dive into the absolute core survival, fitness, and logistical principles from this guide. And whether you're facing a massive deadline or, a basalt slope glowing with twilight fire, these rules really do apply.
The scene setting in the guide is just so immediate. The trailhead looks familiar, rocks, dust, overgrown shrubs. But then there's that faint, persistent smell of brimstone.
Or the laughter.
And the echo of laughter that Tittles insists is not quite human. It tells you right away. The stakes are existential. Preparation has to be absolute.
It sets the tone perfectly for our first segment, the core philosophy, which is basically pack light, travel silent.
And the guide immediately draws this sharp line between being prepared and just being anxious. And it uses the priest as the object lesson.
He's the cautionary tale.
Exactly. Tittles inventories his pack and finds 2 Bibles, 2 heavy loaves of sacramental bread, a bulky old camping kettle. I mean, the priest tries to rationalize it. He says something like, light is relative when one carries the burdens of faith.
But Tittles is relentless. The cat's maxim is just so simple and unyielding.
We travel light or we travel not at all. And you see, the monk, by contrast, is just serene. He's got this stripped-down 30-liter lightweight pack. The visual says everything about who is actually ready.
What Tittles is really driving at is that the burden isn't physical, it's psychological.
The guide states it so clearly. Fear weighs more than any rucksack. So the physical discipline of getting rid of non-essentials, the extra cable you might need, the tool you might use, it's actually a way to train your mind.
To minimize anxiety and maximize focus.
Exactly.
So if the goal is this disciplined minimalism, let's talk about the monk's gear. It's like the essentials of the essentials.
There really is. A lightweight tarp shelter, compact rye sacks with pre-measured rice and oats, and a little folding titanium stove. It's a focused toolkit, nothing more.
And a guide gives a hard number, right? The maximum load.
20% of your body weight or less. And Tittles strongly recommends a digital luggage scale. Calls it humbling but necessary. It forces you to face the weight of your choices before you're halfway down a cliff.
Okay, I have to pause and introduce a little friction here, though. If the philosophy is such extreme minimalism, why does Tittles, the senior interplanar scout, carry a folding compressible pillow in his own little cat-sized backpack? Isn't a pillow a luxury?
It's a fair challenge, but the guide actually offers a defense. The pillow and the 2 cans of sardines he also carries.
Right, the sardines.
They're considered a psychological necessity for him. Tittles needs absolute, uninterrupted deep rest because he's the lead scout and negotiator. So the pillow isn't a comfort item. It's a tool for rapid recovery and focused cognitive function.
So even comforts have to be justified by performance. That makes sense. The priest's failure, then, is prioritizing his anxiety over the mission.
Precisely. If you're weighed down by what-ifs, you move loudly, you get tired fast, and you become a target. Moving silently in a place where no one is ever safe requires this unburdened balance, that physical lightness is your first layer of camouflage.
Which flows perfectly into our second segment, stealth fitness and holy hydration. Once the gear's sorted, Tittles focuses on conditioning.
Yeah, and we're talking about functional, stealth-oriented movement. The strength they need is stillness in motion. It's not about brute force. It's about control, balance, and endurance for silent movement.
And the centerpiece of this discipline is the monk's morning ritual, the threefold breath technique. It's presented as meditation, but Tittles calls it camouflage.
It's tactical breathing,
Yeah.
specifically designed to muffle your movement and control your heart rate. You inhale through the nose for 4 counts, you hold for 4, and then a long, controlled exhale through the mouth for 8.
The 4-4-8 rhythm.
That's the one. It downregulates the nervous system almost instantly.
I see the real-world application here. This is classic biofeedback. When you're facing a high-pressure situation, whether it's climbing a hill or managing a crisis, that controlled exhale prevents the adrenaline spike that makes you clumsy and loud.
Exactly. Tittle says it works wonders on hills, deadlines, and demon infestations alike. It's about minimizing the footprint you leave on the environment.
And the training reflects this. 10 minutes of daily stair intervals, resistance bands, and stealth squats. Slow, silent, smooth movements. No quick, jerky motions.
You can't afford it. It's all about efficiency and longevity. And longevity requires lesson 3, hydration against damnation.
They have to pause every half hour, not just to rest, but specifically to sip water.
Because dehydration leads to bad decisions. It leads to noise. And the monk's electrolyte brew is fantastic. Filtered water, stevia, and a pinch of Himalayan salt per liter.
We have to get into the why of the salt, though. Why Himalayan salt specifically?
So the guide is very clear. Salt prevents cramps and panic. And yes, it has this secondary protective effect. Demons hate it.
Right.
But the critical detail is that you can't use common table salt. Tittles warns that it's often contaminated with chemicals that cancel out the sanctifying effect.
So it's about purity. If your preparation is compromised by shortcuts or, unwanted additives, the whole effort is weaker. That's a powerful metaphor.
It is. And Tittles uses this powerful sensory marker for failure. The air in hell, the cat notes, often smells of cinnamon and despair.
Cinnamon and despair.
But Tittles clarifies that overwhelming smell is actually severe dehydration, messing with your cognition and your sense of smell.
Wow. So what seems like this profound spiritual despair is actually just a basic, mundane, physiological failure.
It's a core principle of the guide. Check the most basic variables first.
Moving on to Life on the Trail, Segment 3, and the Rule of Smell. Tittle states, fire gives you away faster than sin.
So no smoky campfires. They use a folding titanium stove hidden behind a ridge. And this is critical. A reflective tarp is used to shield a tiny flame from above.
To prevent aerial detection.
Right. It's about minimizing all signs of life.
And the infernal rice porridge is the masterpiece of stealth cooking. Tell us about that.
It is a masterclass in efficiency and scent control. The monk soaks the rice overnight in a collapsible bowl so it ferments just lightly.
And when it's heated?
It produces silent steam. Very little smoke, very little scent. The genius is that the fermentation saves cooking, time, and energy, which also means less exposure.
Which is directly contrasted with the priest, who tries to fry bacon and immediately attracts a demon vampire bat.
The lesson is immediate and bloody. If your methods are loud or smelly, you invite hostile interaction. And this discipline extends to how they clean. Cookware is washed with bicarbonate of soda and sand, a silent abrasive.
And then hung from microcarabiners, no clinking metal.
Nothing is left to chance.
Which brings us to hygiene as humanity. This isn't just about smell, it's a psychological defense.
Absolutely. The guide's philosophy is that when you stop caring about cleanliness, when you let your gear get cluttered or your body languish, hell notices. It sees a breach in your internal defenses.
A sprinkle of bicarb in the shoes wards off demons and odor alike.
It's practical and symbolic.
And speaking of defenses, we have to talk about the most modern detail in this whole guide. The Digital Pilgrim's Toolkit. The monk is apparently doing remote work from the abyss.
Yes. It's shocking. But Tittles confirms hell has fragmented Wi-Fi, if you know how to find it. And the monk has this specialized compact toolkit to stay connected.
The gear list is pretty specific for a trip to hell. A backpack solar panel, tilted at a 45-degree infernal angle for the weird light, and a portable Wi-Fi hotspot.
And what's crucial for you to know are the safety rules for operating on cursed infrastructure. Rule 1, never plug directly into a power source. You have to use isolation cables because the whole system surges with curses.
It's like advanced surge protection against digital contamination.
That's a great way to put it. You have to assume the infrastructure is hostile. And rule 2, always use an international adapter. The power points are hellishly mixed up.
A great metaphor for any unstructured environment where the protocols are just inconsistent.
And the final digital rule, always wipe your metadata. Even in the deepest abyss, digital footprints linger. Bureaucracy persists.
So that adaptability, from stealth squats to solar panels, it gets attested immediately in Segment 4. Sanctuary, negotiation, and escalation. The team finally exits one part of hell through a flickering neon archway.
An archway that reads, of all things, thank you for visiting.
It's just absurd.
And it leads them to a place called the Kitchen of the Blessed. It's described as a Hollywood sanctuary and research retreat. It's a jarring shift from brimstone to marble countertops.
But the peace doesn't last. A refugee imp who'd been tagging along lands face first in the priest's pea soup.
This is a critical moment. The priest instinctively reaches for a ladle. like a weapon. But Tittles, the pragmatist, just pulls out a large Kilner jar and captures the imp. Secures the asset, no violence.
And then the interdimensional diplomacy begins over a bowl of stevia-sweetened rice pudding. What's the deal?
It's a resource exchange. Tittles needs a guide who knows the deeper, more dangerous paths of hell. The imp agrees to guide them on this second descent in exchange for good food, good company, and a pardon.
So it shows that even hostile entities can be persuaded with basic provisions. But this confirms the mission is escalating. Their current methods aren't enough.
Right. Tittles makes the call. It's time for dragon riding.
The goal has shifted from stealth infiltration to rapid aerial logistics. And that means a new phase of intense, specialized training.
Yes, and we shift immediately to high-altitude prep. Tittles, the coach, reminds them, you cannot ride a dragon if you collapse before takeoff.
The physical demands change. They need high-altitude trekking boots, lightweight climbing harnesses for actually riding, high-grip gloves, helmets, but it's all still rooted in that ultralight philosophy.
Even the ultimate escalation is controlled and minimalist.
And the final piece of the puzzle, the dragon, Ironclaw. Tittles climbs a boulder and performs this ritual awakening.
A low, resonant purr that carries across dimensions and wakes the dragon from a centuries-long slumber. It's the ultimate display of Tittle's unique power.
And so the cat, the monk, and the priest, now properly equipped and conditioned, they mount Ironclaw and begin their second descent.
Moving from ground trekking to high-altitude airborne logistics, all built on that foundation we've been talking about.
So we've covered the entire guide, from packing a tiny backpack to mounting a dragon. What are the 3 non-negotiable takeaways for you, the learner, today?
First, discipline minimalism. Lighten your mental and physical load. Every item, every worry has to serve a purpose. Remember, fear weighs more than any rucksack. Second, mindful movement. Use techniques like that 4-4-8 breath for stress reduction. It works on hills and deadlines equally well.
And finally, adaptability. Be ready to pivot. That means going from making fermented rice porridge to knowing how to protect your digital devices with isolation cables. Preparation isn't a rigid plan. It's being ready for the unexpected escalation.
Even dragon riding.
Even dragon riding.
And here is a final provocative thought for you to consider. Tittles and the crew discover that even in the deepest abyss, in hell infrastructure and bureaucracy linger, there are Wi-Fi relays, mixed-up PowerPoints that thank you for visiting sign. This suggests that no matter how chaotic or extreme an environment is, the systems and protocols of civilization and commerce persist, even if they're corrupted. So if you are prepared, if you're digitally savvy, you can always carve out an opportunity or establish a refuge, even where the damned roam.